so happy that day. For what? My cousins finally decided to adopt a dog. Even though I wouldn't care for it myself, I was still pretty excited. I, 7 at that time, was in love with dogs ever since I met one at my mom's friend's house. It would be my first time ever to meet him tomorrow. I was excited that I couldn't focus in first grade for a whole week, but that would all change that day in late March. When the time came to see him, I felt so nervous. I was really scared. What if he wouldn't like me? I hadn't thought about that all week. What if he would try to chase me and bite me? Then fear started to soak in. My hands started to sweat. When we arrived at my cousin's house, I saw him. He was not what I was expecting. He was tall, big, ginormous. To think about it, the same size I was. Nothing I was expecting at all. Seeing the dog made me even more fearful from him since I was only used to small puppies. I put my thoughts behind and started walking up to the dog, Murphy, as I knew his name from the bright red dog bowl my cousin had customized for the dog. I slowly started walking up to him, but he started squinting his eyes like I was holding a knife and going to try to stab him with it. I stayed a good arm's length away since he started to snarl. I reached out to pet him, but right as I touched him, he opened his mouth widely like a dragon's and bit me. I was crying and screaming in agony. I was bleeding so much that my blue faded shorts were as if I had painted them red. I was rushed inside quickly, as I was still bleeding. A good 15 minutes had passed, and I was still in so much pain. My mom had cleaned me up, and thankfully Murphy had not bit me too deep. So my mom finally put a Band-Aid on the bite marks. My mom was so astonished that such a thing had happened. Even if I was horrified, I still really wanted to be friends with Murphy, so I decided to give it one more try, with a little help from my cousin. My cousin and I walked out there in the front yard. I started doubting if what I was going to do was safe, since he had already bit me once. I went up to the dog, and my cousin said to pet him on the back and not the face, because when they got him, his nose was swelling from a wasp that had bit him. I took the advice and gently patted Murphy. I was so happy that it went well. I gave Murphy a big hug, even if he was ginormous and he could almost step on me if he wanted to, but he was really fluffy and soft. Even if he was big and really sweet, but he was really sweet and was just trying to protect himself. And even if I didn't think I learned a lesson back then, I now know and realize to never judge anything by how it looks, even if Murphy looked like a dragon-sized dog.